I wanted a musical pun and I forgot to bring my saxophone home. Hello and welcome back to another midnight showing. As always, I'm Kelly and I just got out of Rock the Kasbah. I probably said that wrong because my Arabic, Iranian, Hebrew, whatever language they're speaking inside of this is just hard. I'm not very good at that language even when you do give me a phrase to say. So, yeah, non-spoiler version. This is probably a skip it, wait for Redbox-ish. It really depends on your taste. This movie is extraordinarily weird. And I usually go for that sort of thing. I was laughing in this film. But I will admit, for every time I was laughing, there was another part where I was saying, moving on. This movie was very unfocused. There was an idea here. It just, to me, never felt like it was fully realized. And, yeah. I know it's kind of a weird way of stating this one, but I'll explain in the spoiler section. Just needless to say that this movie is not the best in the world. It's not horrible. Don't get me wrong. It is not worth the freaking 8% it's getting on Rotten Tomatoes. 8%. Really? Really? When Jim and the Holograms and fucking the freaking Scout's Guide to a Zombie Apocalypse and Paranormal Activity is doing better than this? Fucking Paranormal Activity? No. This movie is not that bad, okay? I'm not going to say it was very good, because it's kind of more of a taste sort of thing. If you kind of like this humor, then you'll like this. But if you're not a big fan of it, you're not going to like it. So, I know, it's really kind of confusing. It's not worth an 8%. It's not that bad. It's a beautifully shot film with some very, very engaging moments and some really good jokes, especially sight gags. There's a lot more sight gags inside of this than there are actual spoken jokes. And they tend to hit harder than the actual spoken jokes of it. So I will give it, I would say, wait for Redbox. And it's worth a rent. It's worth seeing then. It's just not worth spending money in theaters on it, in my honest opinion. Because as well as all of those sight gags are, and you'll definitely like this a lot more if you're watching it in a group than if you're watching it by yourself, I'll admit that. As good as all that can be, it just wasn't worth a full ticket price. So yeah, wait till it comes out on Redbox, which should be about January. It's one of those movies that's not going to be doing well. They're going to shove it out the door in less than 2 months. So yeah, it won't be too long before you get a chance to actually watch this one. For those who want to stay for spoilers, let's dive into this movie. So, first thing to say in the spoiler section is you do not know where this film is going to go. This is one of the most unpredictable films I think I've seen in a very long time. It makes you think that it's going to be like this musical setup where it's about getting this girl to rock her, played by Zooey Deschanel, to rock her little heart out and stuff. And no, it's about this other girl who gets introduced and getting her to rock her little heart out on stage. And what? There's some mercenaries, terrorism, a lot of shooting at people. Wait, what? This movie is all over the place, and I kind of admire it for that. It really does mess with your expectations, and sometimes the payoff of messing with those expectations is freaking hilarious. It's engaging. It's funny. It makes you want to watch more. And then there's other times where it just boggles your mind why they went with that joke. So yeah, starting off, Bill Murray is the big star of this. He plays a down and out music manager, I guess you'd call him. He signs people who really aren't that good for paychecks. So, and his big star, played by Zooey Deschanel, is also his kind of secretarious person, and she is tired of playing at bars and at parties and things, which are only jobs that he can get them because he's down out. Hell, he's literally living out of a hotel. He literally is. And we get into Bill Murray, and he is just... You think British humor is dry? Bill Murray in this movie is like this weird combination of just a Monty Python straight to your face sketch and freaking Dan Aykroyd. He's really, really, really dry in this, but then he just has those weird ass moments where he just like goes bonkers. And when he's dry, his delivery is just hilarious. He's talking to this one chick who sang for him. Horrible voice. I mean, fucking nails on a chalkboard. Just singing a crappy ass pop tune. And Bill Murray's reaction. He was asleep during this, by the way. She subtly wakes him up, and he's, "Oh my God, your voice. It was one of those ones that just makes me want to drink poison. It was so irritating, so out there, so amazingly annoying." And Katy Perry, all of them have annoying voices. I see that in you. He's sitting here insulting this lady the entire time, but the way that he's delivering it, you're not sure if he's serious or if he's using something metaphor to tell her compliments. It's funny. It really is funny. But I can understand why somebody would be completely lost on it. It takes more than just listening to what he says. It's more of just how he delivers it that makes it funny. And I could see that going over people's heads. Maybe that's why this movie is getting 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. Because people just don't really get this humor. And that's basically Bill Murray throughout the whole movie. You're not sure what he's saying is serious, or whether it's insultish, or if he's joking, or if he's just rambling like a madman. Because there's a few sections where he does just ramble. But yeah, so he ends up signing her, getting like $12,000, and during Zooey Deschanel's big event later that night, Bill Murray gets talking to his drunk guy who says that the big money tours right now are through the U.S. War camps, like in Afghanistan and whatnot. You can open for Demi Lovato. Yeah, this is the thing you gotta do. So Bill Murray ends up taking it, and the next shot, he and Zooey Deschanel are on a plane filled with a bunch of obvious Middle Eastern people, while Bill Murray's making terrorist jokes. And Zooey Deschanel is freaking out. It's really funny. But at the same time, it can be really misconstrued as really offensive. Granted, going with the tone of this movie, I'm pretty sure that none of the people on that plane know how to speak English. I'm just saying. So yeah, they land in Afghanistan. Kabul, I think it was. Kabul, one or the other. They land there, and this military guy is their driver, and he's there to protect them, to get them to the hotel and get them to the concert and back to the hotel in one piece. That's his job. And he's just being an officer, talking to them, letting them know the dangers of what this job entails. What does this mean? So he's just talking to him. Yeah, we should probably get going. We don't want to be out after nightfall. That's when things get pretty rough out here. Even an armed convoy would have trouble getting through the town. What? Oh, we probably shouldn't take you going shopping like that because the shops, they're just not safe and we don't have the manpower to protect you out there. While they're driving away, IED explosions go off in the background. It literally ends with Bill Murray giving Zooey Deschanel some drugs to help calm her down. It's funny, but it's really weird. Because as soon as they get to the hotel, Zooey Deschanel kind of hits it up with Bruce Willis, who is a mercenary there. And he's writing a book. That's important. While Bill Murray is down at the bar drinking, Bruce Willis ends up sneaking Zooey Deschanel out of the country. Yeah, it sneaks her out of the country because she wasn't Stevie Nicks because of a joke that Bill Murray said about bullshitting a Stevie Nicks thing about him punching him right before a concert and going on stage. But Bruce Willis ends up showing up at Bill Murray's hotel room the next day because Zoe took all of his money and his passport, so now he's stuck inside of Afghanistan. Bruce Willis shows up to collect the rest of the money because she gave him all of their money, but it was only half of his usual fee. And Bill Murray is going to give Bruce Willis the rest of it. He tells him the truth. Bill Murray tells him the truth. I don't have any money. She just took it all, gave it to you, and left. I'm stuck inside of Afghanistan. So he gives him a day to get the money to pay him off. So Bill Murray ends up getting jobs with some gun runners who he was chatting up at the bar, and he ends up taking a job from them to deliver some bullets and some ammunition to an outstaying village where they invite him to stay for some tea and cookies afterwards, and in which case he ends up hearing the village leader's daughter singing in a cave, and you can't have women like that sing because it's against Islam, I guess. I don't know. They actually did reference some real event, and there was a person who did actually sing, and they dedicated the movie to her. But I don't know. So, yeah, after hearing this woman, Bill Murray wants to sign her and get her on Afghan Star, which is the equivalent of American Idol, to sing. He gets her on, and it's a big hit, but it's controversial. Dad ends up taking her back. Turns out the bullets that he gave them were bad, and it was all part of a warlord's deal to kill all of the people, and Bill Murray ends up going to save them with Bruce Willis. This movie is just random, okay? It is off the wall random. And there's kind of an underlying theme of the Lord works in mysterious ways, going back to my Dan Aykroyd reference. And they even quote that at one point, which kind of worked, but kind of didn't. As I said, this movie is unpredictable. The humor is extraordinarily dry. It's not amazingly funny, but it's not terrible either. I found myself smiling through most of this film. There were some points where it's like, okay, this is dragging on. Can we keep going? But then for every single one of those, there's two moments where I was actually laughing at sight gags. Because there's a really funny one where Bruce Willis and Bill Murray, while delivering these bullets, are just driving in the middle of nowhere. And they're just having this back and forth conversation about who Bill Murray's met in his career path and having slept with a couple of famous publicists. Hey, I can help you get your book, and it's just going to happen. And boom! They run over an IED. Middle of the conversation. It just pans out to them driving like it's going to be another scenic shot. They're still conversing back and forth. And then suddenly the lead car that they're in blows up and flips. What the hell? As I said, this is a brilliant sight gag movie. And at least there's some funny moments, like where Bill Murray is freaking out. It was supposed to be an easy job. There wasn't supposed to be any danger. I'm getting blown up. I'm stuck in Afghanistan. Ah! This movie is getting a lot of shit. I like it, okay? I liked this movie. If you had the same taste as me, wait until it gets to one of the cheap theaters. If you have a free ticket, go waste it on it. You're going to enjoy yourself. If you're like me, you will enjoy this movie. But if you're not like me, like the four of the people that were in my theater at the time, you probably won't like this movie. It wasn't perfect. There was a lot of jokes that did fall flat. Zooey Deschanel, they make it seem like she's going to keep coming back in the middle of the films at some point. But no, after she leaves, she's gone. Boom. Never seen again. Kate Hudson is a prostitute in this, ends up sleeping with Bill Murray, leading into another funny sight gag where he's tied to a bed in a diaper with a Marilyn Monroe wig and lipstick all over his face. Yeah. That happens. And she's ultimately the one that helps him get the money so that he can actually get this girl onto Afghan Star so she can sing. And this movie is all over the map. It does anything and everything that it wants to. And I will say that the last third, after they have a clear set goal in this movie, where they're trying to get the Afghan woman to agree to sing on Afghan Star, after they actually do get that and have the goal, the movie is much, much better. But the stuff with the two gun runners, the occasional back and forth with Bruce Willis, it just seems pointless and unneeded. And they just threw in a couple of sight gags that amazingly actually did work, but just weren't enough to hold the movie. The movie is shot beautifully, and it really does look like they flew out into Pakistan or Afghanistan and just filmed in a town there. Everybody looks and acts their culture there. It's not horribly mind-blowing. Just it's a very beautiful film. I think this is one of those films that's going to get a lot of shit thrown on it right now. But then 10 years later, people are going to look back on it and say, this was a genius movie in disguise. This was a masterpiece. It's going to get the same treatment as something like Shining, where everybody hated it when it came out. Nowadays, it's considered a modern horror classic. I really do think this is going to be the same thing for comedy. Bill Murray is brilliant in this film. And unless you're really in tune with what he's doing, though, you're not going to get it or like it. I'm not going to say that this movie is bad by any stretch of the imagination, because it's not. It's good. But it's so weird and out there. It's probably best to just see it for yourself and decide whether or not you like it. But I would, as I said, my final verdict on it, for the regular person, wait till Redbox or Netflix it. When it comes out to those, which it will in just a couple of months, because just how badly this movie is doing right now, you can usually tell how long movies take to release. If they're doing badly, they'll be out within 2 months. If they're doing really well, it'll take about 6 or 7. Hence why Inside Out comes out next Tuesday, I believe. But but yeah, it'll be out fairly soon, and you won't have to wait for too long to see it. But if you're like me, if you enjoy that kind of really, really dry humor and a lot of sight gags, this could be bumped up to see it at a discounted price. Go to a cheap theater when it gets there. Go to if you have a free ticket, go ahead and waste it on this. You won't be disappointed. But yeah, nothing really else I can say about this film. That's it for me. Did you enjoy the video? Have you seen Rock the Kasbah? If you did, tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. Maybe we'll get some healthy discussion about it. Especially Kate Hudson's role. I was really, really, really confused about her role as that whole prostitute. Have you ever heard of a mercy thug? It's like, wait, what? So, yeah, if you have any thoughts about that, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed if you liked what you saw, be sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Be sure to check out my channel and some of my other videos. I will have links to playlists and channel up here. And if you want to see some of my more recent videos, I will have those linked right down here. And yeah, that's it for me, and I guess I'll have to see you all next time.